Now you have a warning for depictions of domestic violence.
Yeah, you wait till the
Now
episode after. But also, they're vampires. Like, who would realistically make someone fall like for 150 stories in the air? Like, just forget it. Just press play. I'm sick of trying to rationalizing this shit.
Oh, I forgot to do the gag. Previously on Everybody Loves Louie. I don't care.
A few shattered vertebrae, a punctured lung.
Nappiness. Skin dry as it flakes from being unbrushed, uncombed, matted.
Gone gray from the year's punishment, like Obama during his first term.
He could fly.
Yes.
Like Superman?
Not like Superman. Superman is a fictional character.
Okay.
He said it was more like floating, arising at will, propelling in a direction by the decision.
It's fucking flying, bitch. Stop trying to be fancy. It's flying!
I think they're trying to do the pedanticism, but at the same time, it doesn't look very good. Again, looks like Michael Jackson floating in midair about to hit a dance mark.
You know he's a vampire, right?
I do not discuss my patients with anyone but the patients themselves.
That's the voice of Dr. Fareed Bensali.
That is not my voice.
He's the personal physician to the Deputy Prime Minister.
And I am not here.
Hey, yo, fam, I'm not here. You don't know who I am. I'm not here. I don't even exist. Like, who the fuck?
I get what they're doing here. Ah, yes. I feel like you're not telling me the whole truth about the story. And then after you telling me not about your totally not daughter's totally not happening butt rape, I should just not ask questions about people not knowing about these things. As you tell me about these vampiric gifts we haven't actually spent any time developing. Can you believe this horseshit, Doc? Stop it. Stop. I like this guy. I don't want to hate him as a character. The actor's trying way too hard, and it's good. It's the right amount of overacting. But I need to be able to believe it, and I can't believe it if you guys keep trying to fucking lampshade. It doesn't excuse it when you do this. It just means you should have started over and wrote a different scene.
Can you fly, Louie?
Hell no. That was more funny than anything. Can you fly, Louie? It just cuts to him dying.
You ready?
This is humiliating.
It's okay, Daddy Lou. I know you're not Muslim, but just let it come.
Yeah, Daddy Lou, just chase a fucking goat around the house.
Why are y'all dressing her like she's supposed to be somebody's older sister, being forced to become the mother of a family of 5? But what is this? Because it's not making me think that she's an older, more learned version of her character. It just makes me look like, bitch, why'd you choose that hairstyle? It does not fit your face.
I've been calling quite often. I don't know if the operator is patching me through correctly.
If you fix all the holes in the ceiling, and second question, how the fuck did you fix all the holes in the ceiling?
Why does it look like he's not wearing pants?
No one here wishes to speak with you.
Perhaps we should let him decide if he wants to see me or not.
Why didn't it fall on him? It should have fell on him. That would have been hilarious.
Just move the coffin like a couple more inches, like let the bottom fall off and then let the top hit him on his head, like crack over it. Complete slapstick. And then he just calls out, "Lestat, Louis."
Because if you're gonna do it anyway, just go all out.
Like, the visual comedy doesn't work if there isn't physical comedy. Like, yeah, we threw your stuff out on the street. Yes, that's a very modern expression, but they didn't do that back in those old times. Either they were forced out by being taken out of their home by the men of the community, or they simply worked things out. The man left of his own accord and he never came back because he literally left with his clothes on his back and his hat on his head. Throwing this fucking coffin out on the street has a lot of more implications other than, oh my God, y'all being extra. Like, oh, it's about a single person looking like, oh my God, they have a whole ass coffin in there. Why do they got a coffin in the house with those gay people?
Those homos.
Emily Dickinson is not a vampire.
How do you know?
Because she's dead.
How do you know?
Every single famous writer in my universe might be a vampire. You'll never know.
Yeah, this is like the current headcanoning. All my favorite characters are trans because I said so.
Sure. You just reminded me that it's a possibility that these writers will try to make a vampire trans for representation. See, now he looks like he's a doubled extra for a fucking show like South Pacific. What are you doing jumping out this jalopy like that, man? Like he's about to fucking jump it. Like he's about to jump it.
Tweety.
It looks like he's about to jump into a fucking song quartet of There's Nothing Like a Dame.
Look at my form-fitting shirts. This is a lovely day. Oh, wait, it's night.
Louis, I don't know what possessed me that night. I was someone I don't want to be anymore.
Not in his butthole?
I want to be in your butthole again, Louis. I miss you.
There are people around! Al, is that the Leon Court girl scratching up his new car? Goddamn, where'd the girl get nails like that? I better tell my missus that she should go to her salon. Yeah.
And Lestat's relentless determination began to crack my considerable armor.
Because you're a bitch.
Yes.
He had written it himself in the music of the hour.
Nowls!
Oh my god.
Oh god.
This is the most pandering shit I've ever saw.
Yeah, they're setting up Queen of the Damned, aren't they? Are they set, like, is that what this is?
My rage is palpable.
Now let's... Oh, I think they're setting up Queen of the Damned. No.
Right, draw my agony, bitch.
Oh, no.
Feel the pain of 1,000 Negroes.
And you know the
Suffer the agony
like
of the family being ripped apart.
Can I speak, nigga? Shit!
For the pleasure of white
This is my video. Can I speak? Shit! The original film, like the soundtrack was litty. Like that's one of the biggest reasons the movie is tolerated by so many Anne Rice fans, I guess. Their soundtrack is not going to live up to the soundtrack of the film. No way in hell. And plus, if they introduce, Akasha, Aaliyah's character, that's not going to go over well either.
At that point, I would no longer care about hoping that they just make a show that doesn't suck, and I'd be like, no, make it worse. Make it
Make it worse.
You know who should be the replacement for her? Doja Cat. Go ahead. Hire
God.
her. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes.
Die.
I don't care. Well, who would you rather have? You want Lizzo to be there? You want Megan Thee Stallion?
They would hire a fucking Lizzo. She's slow roasting people with her fire powers and then she eats them. Free barbecue!
Rashid, please play the song in question for Mr. Malloy and the doctor.
I'm not here.
Is that all you're going to be saying throughout this whole episode?
That's his voice.
Yeah.
Come to me.
I have to imagine this character now sat down in a fucking recording studio and was like, Louis, I miss my Louis. Louis.
Suck on the balls and slurp the juice. Louis.
6 years of begging. You think a song's gonna get a rise out of me?
Oh, God. Got the prostatation's bullshit out my mouth. So he had the woman he was cheating on you with do vocals on the track, and so you decided to break into the place where he was living, which how did you know where his house was? He told you the city. He didn't tell you the location. I have to imagine there's going to be a gag cut where you just break in the door of every single home on the street his house is, saying the same speech in your head. You get exasperated once you finally figure out you're at the right one. Just break into the home. You thought I was gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. You just bringing on an old couple. You thought, oh, I'm sorry. A newly married couple trying to tend to their new child while she's pregnant with her second. You thought, oh, I'm sorry. An alderman having sex with a black woman while a grouping gaggle of white men across the wall take their turns because racism.
He bursts into another room and it's just like the clan having beers and watching television.
Yes.
Louis, you're soaking wet.
I swim fast and not drop.
Trying to picture him swimming really fast. Oh, down there.
I hate you.
As you should.
Quick and clever despite 2 bags of fluid.
Legal dope makes me constipated, but the wit flows like a river.
The wit flows like the river, like my ancestors had to cross to get away from the people who would have been your ancestors. This is the only thing in this show that remains consistent. Occasionally, That's deadpan and fuck you. That's the Jewish spirit.
You took him back.
It's a bond that can never fully be severed. A bond like that makes you believe there are only two of you on the planet.
But there were 3 of you.
My revenge was going to be very simple, don't you understand? I was going to bust into the home, and then I was going to
bust in him.
I was going to make her listen to every wet slap, every exasperated groan. I'd make her feel
All right, Carl. You just
I was going to be done with the sentence. I was going to make her feel the way I lived every night. My rage flew like the tears down her cheeks, and I felt it was good. Okay, now I'm done.
Thank you, Jesus.
Listen. It's not out of pocket if they're literally indulging in this. Standing outside the window smoking and shit.
That's rule number 5. I'll be your companion, your sister.
It's not as simple as choosing a new family configuration. Now I'm your cousin, now I'm your aunt. I am your maker.
But not my uncle or my daddy.
Dada.
Did you have anything to do with Paul's death?
I would never hurt your brother.
Something I always...
Never, Louis.
Your brother saw what was going to happen to you in the show, and he just said, I can't be here for that, bro.
He saw your booty getting busted wide open, and he busted his head open on the pavement.
He said, Lord, I can't stay here no more. Take me into your open arms.
Take me, Jesus! He said that as he was falling down. Take me, Jesus!
No grand history of vampiric origins or physiology, no rules, no counsel. Just a sweeping hand to a pile of money and the sight of him throwing himself into a fire. And then I was alone.
I was a twink in France. He fucked the shit out of me and then put me in a tower with other men he had had sex with. Then he turned me and said, I am disgusted with what I have made. And he left, just like you tried to leave me. Okay.
I didn't want this, but I have a capacity for enduring.
It's not just me. Where the fuck is his accent going?
I can't act and maintain this booster accent at the same time. It's proving difficult as an actor.
Years accumulated in the small city were catching up to us. Our home was often vandalized. Cowardly warning.
That's a continuity error.
Okay, yeah, I can agree. There's supposed to be more dust missing from the bottom of the circle half. I'm confused about why they're using a voodoo ritual when there were not open practitioners of voodoo during the time period. Also, what time period are we in?
Oh, he said like 1936? I forgot.
That's supposed to be a danger ward, and the thing about those is that you don't leave them out on the fucking street. You attach them to the abode upon which you would like to attach the ward. And you put those on the door. Doorway, door frame, passageway, what's the word? Atrium, or in the open waiting room towards the place that you want warded. Leaving that out in the front, why would people just not kick over the dirt and salt and patch and be like, what the fuck is that shit?
We are a vampire. We should not.
The fuck? What was that? I don't know what that was supposed to be.
For a second there, she hit that Mila Jovovich Fifth Element laugh. And I had to remember, wait, I'm not in a really good French film made by a person who understands phrasing and ideas and no, what is this? And then I was just confused.
We should really think about repairing that mantle.
No,
Enjoy living in a ruin, do you?
we leave the damage, so we never forget the damage.
That's a dumb fucking sentiment. The only reason why that works is because you're immortal vampires that never have to leave your home. And when you choose to leave, and you don't have to actually have human guests stay. Also, could you say thank you? Because he actually did something that was important. And it's not the souvenir of her finger. It's the fact that he killed her in a way where there was a human explanation for her disappearance. It should have happened on screen, personally, in my opinion, but they're speeding through content. Went to her house, you talked to her, maybe he fucked her good one last time. And at the height of her climax, cut her throat. She bleeds out, gurgling, bubbling. He says as he gets done ejaculating on her chest, "Listen to me. I did not want to do this, but I love him." Magic up some fire, since you can apparently do that, and burn the bitch alive. Then you can just do some weeping shit, have some blood tears running down his face. Maybe do one actual tear and then a blood tear that represents the booty hole love that he has for Louis, coming down 2 different tear ducts on his face. Poetic.
She came back altered when she left us.
Altered in her pants. From behind, like something snaked its way up her butt crack and died.
There's a darkness in her that wasn't there before.
They're writing the dialogue. You want me to not joke about this? Booty hole of darkness, of whiteness, of brightness, of cum stains of darkness, of blood in the lightness. I'm sorry, Toby Turner. I had to do it.
I played 3 games at once in the Jardin de Luxembourg. And one of my opponents was Johann Zukertort, who you know, of course, won the Paris Championships of 78. And
Of course, who
later
doesn't
that
know who
afternoon
won the Paris Chess Championship of 78? My mama taught me that before I started crawling.
Tedious interrogations.
This scene is actually really good, but the problem is that you guys are doing too much. All you need to do is just simply have these two going back and forth, and just have Louis, like, just turn his head every single time they talk, and just let the scene breathe. Y'all putting a little bit too much focus in the musical sting.
I think I'll hunt alone tonight.
Master's had so much loss in his life, Lord couldn't ask him to bear anymore.
I'll come with you.
Thank you.
Poor Master and his pain. It's an honor just to sleep under Master's roof.
And I know she's talking.
There's 3 ways to do this scene. What you're currently doing, which is dog shit. The alternative, which is to do the opposite of the third option. And the third option, which is the best option, which is simply have this scene played from the position of Lestat. Let the camera focus on him when he sits down at the game table. Move pieces. Have her give dialogue. Move pieces. Simply focus on making the clear annoyance of her prodding questions as simple as the injection of her finger and her hands into frame. Back again. Look over to Louis. Never look directly at her. Let her be out of focus. But let the eyes be piercing directly at the screen. I don't know what you're going to have to do in the film effects to do this, but simply let the actual red color of her eyes be a piercing red that constantly and never shifting its gaze from him moves around to search for answers. Maybe even do a cut in where you go to her face and you get real close. You tighten the frame on her eyebrows so they're not in frame, and you focus specifically on her, shortening, slitting, moving, darting, and softening her gaze so that you can have all of the emotions of a woman playing a linguistic game with your emotions while prodding you for answers, while playing a mental game of chess. So you get the triple chess acumen. The king, or excuse me, in this case, would Louis be the queen in this situation? Because technically he's the king of the board. But the king of the board is being guarded by a dark knight or a dark queen against the white king. There we go. Found it. Brought it back around. I even added in a little bit of racism for you guys. I know how you like that racism. There's a better way to do the scene. I swear to God. You can do better than this.
You're ugly when you act like that.
Better ugly than blind.
See, perfect example. Just end the scene on simply not even having her say that like that, but just let it be on her face where it's like, you're ugly when you look like that. And let the ugliness be that when she's ugly, she's not on screen fully. Just her face. Just the killer instinct. Try to bring back some level of the savageness you took from Claudia and put it in here. This is your chance, now that you don't have human characters to do what you're doing.
She is poisoning Louis against me.
You don't need her, and you don't need him.
That bitch still alive?
That's where I need you.
Okay, so she is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
He kills a different woman, burns her in her house, and then uses that body to replace her body, and then brings her that finger, and they didn't even bother to look. I guess that's intelligent, but at the same time, it's like, why wouldn't they check behind you then? Like, you're being forced to be honest. Why wouldn't they demand to check? See, you're making me take back my compliment, god damn it! I gave y'all niggas a compliment, and now you're f***ing it up!
I didn't mean to make you mad.
How do you then have this conversation with the window open? Not like it mattered to the vampires, but at least we wouldn't have this beautiful pan out to us, watching them listen on the balcony, standing in the distance as they find out he is lying. See, I told you, Daddy Louie.
Yes, you did, sweetheart. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And more importantly, why would you have it at a public hotel? Why not a private residence that is secretly in your employ and ownership?
He wanted us to discover it.
But why?
Because he's all kinds of fucked up. Because he would have killed her in a second if he thought I'd take him as he is. And I probably will.
Because I'm a weak bitch. Y'all really got to stop emasculating this main character. Because you're making his mystique look worse and worse. Because now, instead of saying things like, I will not let you defile the memory of my pseudo daughter, now it becomes, no, I really just wanted to strangle you because I like power. Because I didn't get to have that a lot. I was emasculated by the woman I had turned so she could replace my sister. And I didn't want to feel weak anymore. So you, Jewish reporter, gotta get to work. It's screaming, I don't know how to deal with my problems. And instead of dealing with my problems, I definitely suck on the neck of white Russians and tan brown members of the Indian elite. Also, why are you walking around the old neighborhood where you used to sell pussy? It's not a very big deal since no other human characters that we are supposed to give a shit about are going to be coming around here for a while unless they need to be there for a plot reason. But I'm very sure I remember a heavy-set woman that was in your employ that the alderman tried to stick in the shitbox of. What happened to all those girls? What happened to all those employees of yours when the Azalea was burned down? They had to go back into whoring. Who's working them now? Who's the pimp that's popping the pussy on the street?
Vana Celestra Ployesi.
Funny sounding towns.
Ancient towns.
Why are you having this mental conversation like this? I'm disgusted by what I'm seeing, but not because it has sexual activity between two men. It's because you're implying that he's able to have a normal conversation mentally while engaging in the sexual act with no mental strain in his voice whatsoever. Because this is a very weird power set that you haven't fully defined. For example, are you telling me that while he was flying up in the air and she had the ability to try and mentally speak to him using her mind and her words like she was intermittently back and forth in the last episode, that they're just gonna not use the fact that she should be able to hear and feel what his mental anguish in that moment was, and then therefore know the exact moment that he was falling out of the sky? That's an interesting detail that you should focus on. How does she feel about witnessing the physical abuse of domestic violence that he just suffered and being able to emotionally hear and even physically see the exact moment his body is beaten and battered as he falls out of the sky? How about his mental anguish as he mentally cries out in terror every night from that exasperated falling dream that he has? Why aren't you jostling awake in your sleep, hearing and feeling what he's feeling, since this is how your black thought works? So, like, right now, you're telling me you two are mentally conversing, and she's not mentally trying to shut out the images of a slat on top of you? And yes, I slurred that on purpose. LaSlut. Better way to do this scene. Let her be reading in the other room, but she doesn't go onto camera until in moments where basically you just can't have him on screen. Like, for example, Lestat's kissing all on your neck. You are lying there. The camera eye position is your position on the bed. We hear her voice in your ear, and you're trying to mentally communicate while you focus on entertaining him and maintaining the conversation. Then you mentally have to block out the image of what you're hearing and what you're seeing and what you're doing, because now you're engaged in the butt play. Then it goes to her view while we hear you mentally straining on every other word because you're getting fucked or you're getting to fuck him in the ass. This would be a great thing for your actors to demonstrate some acting chops.
With more like us living in them. And they can't all be like him. Or him.
Oh my God, stop it. We can't be like you or Lestat or that rapist I never talk about.
I can see us just like him. I can see it, Claudia.
Well, I can't.
Jesus Christ, did you just try to mouth your words when you're supposed to be doing ADR?
Well, I can't. You did! Train's leaving in an hour. Get off that bench.
See, the problem with this is that your body language has to communicate your words. You have to emphatically move your body with your shit, and you're not doing that. So it just looks like you're just retardedly staring at him while he tries to figure out what the fuck it is you want him to do. Like an angry date right after he made a social faux pas.
You're smarter now. You see trouble coming a mile away.
Your cry face is so fucking ugly. It's like she's holding in a wet turpid shit. Where she just smelled the raunchiest fart of her life. And then she runs like an old white woman.
But it was 1939, and the only Negro allowed in first class was the porter, and the Negro passenger rode the rear. The Negro vampire made do with what was left.
Oh my fucking God. I don't care.
This is the part of my story where you said, make me a vampire now. I'd give it to you now. Still had time to watch your daughters marry.
And divorce, and die. Save it for the rent boy.
May I be excused, Mr. Dulac?
I don't like what the fucking Jew said to me.
Are you planning on slapping me again, Daniel?
I'm gonna throw this can at your forehead and see if I can make a perfect red rim.
Let me go, Lestat.
I'm afraid I can't allow that. He's very fragile right now. Worse than the last time you abandoned him, when you filled your head with knowledge and hitched a ride on a motorbike.
This doesn't matter for trying to terrorize her if we didn't see the rape happen. 4 pages missing. We are alluded to assume that she was butt fucked. And now you are alluding to the butt fucking. You could say, oh, you came across one of those new age American vampires. What did he do to you? But now you are asserting that actually you know for a fact she was molested. Which, how do you know that? Assumptions?
When I put my mind to it, I can hear the thoughts of other vampires at a very great distance.
Bastard.
He thinks of you often, Bruce.
Fucking bastard.
I couldn't agree more. What he did to you was in very poor taste.
I mean, you've been around for a while. You were a twink yourself. So you know what it looks like to get fucked by a vampire, I guess. The problem here is, why would you say that to her other than to be cruel? Because it wouldn't help manipulate her to go back.
We endure each other for Louis' happiness. So come home and make him happy. Because if you try this again, Claudia, I won't snap your leg, defile your pocket, and zoom off on a motorbike. Defile your pocket, defile your pocket, defile your pocket.
Barbie pocket.
Because if you try this again, Claudia, I won't snap your leg, defile your
Barbie pocket.
and zoom off on a motorbike. I'll turn your bones to dust.
Perfection. Absolute perfection. Best scene out of this actor yet. Now why couldn't you have given this to us 6 episodes earlier? Also, I don't think I've ever been more disgusted by the word pocket.
And I want to tell you something else now. A secret.
You guys need to stop doing this. Okay. So they're doing a variation of the thing that I suggested before, but now they're keeping the camera still on her, but they keep moving it around when it's on his face. It literally should be her talking, staring blankly ahead, him being amused with her choices while they talk through the dialogue, and him doing this what he was before, him talking through the moves and talking over her as they're having their conversation in private. But you start letting him have fun with taunting her because he's supposed to be on the top of his game. And as he starts slowly becoming more unhinged, as she starts slowly beating him and revealing that she's getting better at this, that they start tightening the camera work, but they're not doing that. So it's more like he's getting slightly annoyed with possibly losing maybe the first set of games he's ever played against her in a while, after already telling her that he basically views her as an animal that he's putting in a cage. And this triumphant moment of the animal biting back on the hand that made her, literally biting the hand that feeds her. You guys are like, yeah, she beat me in the game of chess. Oh, I will not be living this down for the next month. It doesn't have any impact. And you're talking about something like, oh, this character's going to get herself killed, killing him in this version of the story you wrote. It doesn't work because you're not focusing on the emotion of their reactions on how they're speaking. Like, we should only be seeing the eyes of the two speaking and her not even looking at the board anymore, just staring at him and peripherally noticing everything else in the room while she talks and he talks. He's looking at her, worried about what she's thinking while looking over from the peers of the book that he's reading, or pretending to read, while he watches the intense game between them. And Lestat, he's just in his own happy little world, playing a game with his dear beloved sister, not noticing the plot being formed against him. Right around here, this is where the camera work should start getting tighter. It's just focusing in on her eyebrows and her eyes alone.
You have won.
I'm tired.
I finished the game.
I think I'm gonna go to bed.
Move your pawn, finish the game.
Good night, Lestat.
It was inevitable.
Heedless, disagreeable, obnoxious, repellent, unkind, loyal to the core.
Every ship.
There's a bunch of unintelligible French slurs that are in there. They don't really matter. So the move she's did was called a pawn trap. In chess, if a pawn reaches the other side of the board, it becomes upgraded to a queen. So if he moves, he takes her queen, but if that pawn continues moving forward, because they can either move one space, move diagonally one space, or move forward twice on their first move, she eventually gets the pawn to the end of the board. The queen then overtakes his back row and surprises him from behind. She doesn't finish the game, she annoys the piss out of him and removes the satisfaction of being able to say, so you've become intelligent. I see, you have become smart like me. Keep trying games like that and you might just end up having to be able to become a challenge for you. But deny him the satisfaction. That's the secret, Louie. You gotta edge him. You gotta edge him, and I'm gonna be the dummy mommy. We're gonna milk this man for all he's worth, and we're gonna have fun killing him once we do it. But, like, this does not play the way you want, and then you have him ranting and smacking the fucking chess pieces off a board, which chess is a great analogy for war, as you're having us talk through the shit that would be happening with World War II. Damn! I wonder who we're supposed to be comparing him to here. I wonder who we must be comparing him to. I'm very exasperated with your fucking writing. Guys, please, you gotta give me something better than this. At this point, I'm just explaining how you're dumbass hack writers.
We were going to kill Lestat. Rashid, are you awake?
I can be.
You fucking zoom into where Rashid is playing high, blasting loud Bollywood music as he tries to masturbate furiously to a photo of Louis, and he's like, Rashad, are you awake? I can be. Anything for you, my king. Meanwhile, this motherfucker's dipping out because he's like, in the middle of the conversation, we were going to kill Lestat.
What's in the bag?
Oh my god! Oh no!
His fucking fro!
Oh god, no! Oh. Mr. Obama, what are you doing at this same bar? My fellow Americans, I suck dick and blood.
My boyfriend likes dick and pussy too.
You guys know what the fuck you're doing. This is worse than the Gorilla Grodd episode of Legends of Tomorrow. Oh my god!
Time to make America Grodd again.
I have what you're looking for.
You came here for some dick.
High quality.
Thick, girthy, well-aged.
I have a room over on Difficedero, not too far a walk.
That way you don't have to limp with my...
Just shut up, Carl. Just shut up.
That okay with you? Would you like to join us?
No. You go ahead. Have your fun.
Wait a minute. The fuck is he doing here?
I don't know. My sides are ascending. Gotta really lay off the Quaaludes, god damn it. Now the question I have is, was he loopy because he was on medication, or was Rashid there the entire time?
The last dance before the feast.
You guys just did that because you wanted them to be in the fucking timely makeup. Oh god, that's so fucking lazy.
Episode 6, like angels put in hell by God. You know, whatever your feelings about Lestat are, here we get to finally hear what Lestat's pain is all about.
But
if it's
he could
even
be
true.
lying.
Exactly. If it's even fucking true.
One reaction to that, which is Louis accepts it, and there is Claudia, who is still... Yeah, and what? You've had 200 years to get over your shit.
But I'm pretty sure that if you're a fucking twink, whether or not he knew he was gay or not, and you're being kept in a room full of dead bodies, some that are fresh, some that are necrotized, loaded, and decomposing, but they all look like you, the normal thought a person would have in this situation is, oh God, help me, please, I'm going to die. Please don't let this man kill me. So when he changes you into a vampire and then tells you, I don't know what the fuck Magnus would sound like, but I'm just going to become as racist as I possibly can with this. I'm not even going to try. Fuck it. Yeah, bitch. Welcome to Vampirism. There's some cash right there. There's some dead shit over there. I'm dipping out this bitch. Goodbye, nigga. And into the fucking fire. Why would I believe that course of events? He didn't tell you anything about the state of being you're in. He just, and he's like, all right, you're getting a little bit woozy, but don't you let that shit stop you. Just go ahead and just feel your way out of it. You'll be all right. At the very least, you have to assume he had to tell you that you can't drink blood from dead bodies. So, how did you survive with no teaching? Who taught you? Other vampires in the area? Why would they care to help you? There are so many holes. So many holes. That should be his biopic. The Steps.
So many holes.
There is something very, very screwed up about the dynamics here. It's not fun, it's not pleasant, but you endure the years because you cannot have relations with humanity.
We can't have relationships with humanity. Said who? Why are you in self-isolation? How are you making money to afford living here? Who's paying the bills to keep your lights on? You're not bringing in cash. How has nobody tried to repossess your home? I understand they would die if they tried, but why haven't they made the attempt to establish, okay, you just don't go there no more. Why? It's cursed and haunted. Characters need to actually establish, hey, yo, something's not right here. Because these wards outside your home through the centuries, it would have made more sense for superstition to exist back then, and it just become common knowledge, oh, you don't go near that house on that street. Bad juju. Bad juju. Signs posted, warnings everywhere around town, do not go on Gay Street. People once said that if you listen real close between the hours of 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning, outside the gay house, you can hear the sounds of guttural moans coming from inside. And then you can hear the sound of a very desperate whisper, almost like a lover whispering into your ear, fuck me, Louis. Fuck me, Louis.
And apparently the next episode is the finale, so there's only like 7 episodes this season. So that means the first season is just halfway through the original movie. They didn't even get away from Lestat yet in the first season.
And then what? Now, at this point, they just start fucking editorializing. I try to give you niggas compliments, then you niggas make it worse. Then you niggas do dumb shit. Then you niggas make it even worse after that. Then you just keep trying to focus on shit for no other reason than because you wanted to. And all that because, hey, I want y'all to have emotional reactions to this shit. I want you to go back to where you were doing funny racism with white people.